Evolution, then revolution. How to push with love. The purpose of this is to identify a simple process in which a being can transmute trauma into healing and push themselves and others with love. The first chapter walks you through the process I have developed through my experience. Chapter 1. Trauma Transmutation. The first step to all healing is to find acceptance that a being exists within a routine traumatic cycle. In order to identify this, the being must pause and take inventory of what external stimuli is causing them pain. This will act as the tip of an iceberg to a being's trauma, concluding the first step in discovering a being's healing journey. This healing journey will be like unraveling a massive knot. It will take time, patience, and persistence. Doubt, distraction, and residual pain will be the hurdles that a being must overcome on this journey. In order to overcome these obstacles, a being must rest when tired, focus on breathing when overwhelmed, and create a purpose or goal to achieve on a daily basis that will ultimately lead to a much broader purpose or goal. When a being is riddled with doubt, a being must meditate, pray, or spend time quietly doing something of that nature. Spending as much time as needed in nature is highly recommended. This will calm the mind and release a small amount of doubt. The doubt is like that of a balloon releasing air. It will slowly dwindle, but will quickly fill. So a being must be persistent in order to overcome the mind and its desire to protect itself with fear. Distractions will come in many forms depending on the being and their preferences. These distractions will be unrelenting and frequent throughout the being's journey. If complete isolation is necessary for the being to avoid these distractions, then the being must commit to isolation. If the being is aware when they are distracted and has the will to interrupt each occurrence, then isolation is unnecessary. Sometimes, distractions are like a reprieve from the entropy of the spirit that occurs when focused too heavily on healing. But, like all things, balance is the key to this journey. A being must never feel ashamed or guilt when giving in or failing to resist these distractions. These are pulls necessary to identify the various holes that siphon a being's energy, so act as an educator to the being where to focus the healing. Finally, the residual pain that ripples through decades of the being's existence are like ripples on the edge of a pond, after the center of its surface has been disturbed. The being's core was once punctured, and continuously echoes throughout the being's existence. This residual pain acts as a trail back to the source of where and what punctured the being. It is the utmost importance to acknowledge and accept this pain, in order to follow its signature back to the source. The being must surrender to this pain, and allow it to manifest into the being's reality as truth. This will be the most difficult part of the being's healing journey and indicate the start of transformation. The pain locked inside the being will then pour as if opening the floodgates, and crying will be the being's response to acceptance. The being must allow the tears to carry the trauma out of them, but mustn't slip into a state of addiction to sorrow. Creating an identity or pausing one's healing journey in a state of sorrow cheapens the value of completing a being's healing journey. A being is infinitely more valuable than a state of sorrow or victim mindset. A being must embrace the feelings that arise and release them just as easily. Focusing on breathing during these moments is of the utmost importance. Slow, steady, deep breaths will anchor the being, while the emotions will flood the body and mind. Eventually, the residual pain from releasing the trauma will lessen, and the being will be left in a state of peace and acceptance. The being's healing of this particular trauma will be complete, and only constructive thoughts will invade the mind. But there is no end, only change. This process must be repeated every time a being feels pain from external stimuli, or becomes aware of any negative thought patterns. The being's evolution will be enough for revolution from self to occur. Be patient and kind to yourself, so that you may extend that to others. Now go create something.